Hello everyone, my name is Matt Scorpion and welcome back to Destiny 2 in the day 4 Season of the Haunted. Now, I'm going to be straight off the bat right now. My recording capture is a little bit derpy. My normal one is currently bugged out, not recording game audio. So, right now, I'm going to be using a different set. It might look a little bit lower resolution, still hopefully should be 60 frames, but it might get a little choppy, might desync a little bit. I apologize if that happens. It's an unfortunate thing I cannot deal with right now. But, ignoring that problem, let's get into Solar 3.0. Kicking off the new season, I've already done a video on story. I'll be doing more as I obviously play through and, of course, encounter the story, but it's time to update you all on how Solar has changed. Now, I'm going to be covering first what the various fragments are, and I will tell you, obviously, like last season, if there are going to be some that are not unlocked right away. And we also see Solar and Void right here. Now, you're going to want to visit Ikora and check fragments. Once you open those, there's going to be a few that you can unlock right off the bat, but there are 4 total that I think are going to be earnable at some point. Let's see. Those are... Wait, those are already equipped. That one just says not yet unlocked. That one says not yet unlocked. And... One moment. So there are 4 fragments total that are not unlocked to you, and you can buy... Let's see... Fragments... 2 right off the bat, so there's going to be 2 that are going to still be unlocked. But going through the fragments you have, starting off, we have Ember of Combustion. Final blows caught with your super causes at targets to ignite, which I believe is basically just be caught on fire. I need to check some details here, see if there's any better details regarding it. Let's see... there we go. Scorch. Target is disinged by destructive solar light, taking damage over time. Scorch damage increases as the target accumulates more Scorch stacks. After enough Scorch stacks are applied to the target, they ignite. Ignition. A large solar explosion which deals damage in an area around the target. Okay, so that's basically Solar version of Volatile. Scorch and Ignition is Solar Volatile. There we go. Is there any other details that we need to know that they tell us about, or... Okay, I don't think they tell us much. But, like before, our supers get divided into 2 different trees. So, going into fragments, once again, now that we know that, checking our general fragments available, we have Ember of Combustion. Basically, final blows of super cause enemies to explode more effectively. Your class ability recharges faster when you set enemies on fire. Ember of Benevolence applies Restoration, Cure, or Radiant to abilities to allies, grants increased grenade melee and class ability regeneration for a short time. So the Benevolent Dawn perk on Warlocks is now for all 3 classes, so that is pretty great, but it's a little restrictive. Ember of Beams. Solar super projectiles have stronger target acquisition, plus 10 intellect as a bonus. Ember of Torches. Power melee attacks against combatants make your nearby allies radiant. Does it actually tell us what radiant is? Let's see. I need to go find it. Ember of Torches. Let's see. Ember of Torches. There we go. Radiant. Your weapons are enhanced by the power of the Traveler and deal increased damage to foes. So Radiant is basically the empowered buff from Warlock as well. So reading that again, it makes it so that, let's see, Ember of Torches. Power melee attacks make you and nearby allies radiant. So that could be really good with throwing hammers. I'm not even joking. Ember of Tempering. Solar final blows grant you, or solar weapon final blows specifically, grant you and your allies increased recovery for a short duration, stacks 3 times. While Ember of Tempering is active, your weapons have increased airborne effectiveness and has a recovery debuffs as well. Ember of Blistering. Defeating enemies with solar ignitions grant grenade energy. Basically make things go boom, get more boom. Ember of Solace. Radiant and restoration effects applied to you have increased irritation, so generally buff. Ember of Eruption. Your solar ignitions have an increased area of effect with a bonus to strength. And Ember of Searing. Defeating scorched targets grants melee energy. So that's everything that you get right off the bat. If you have the currency, you can buy these fragments right off the bat and just go for them. And as well, all the grenades for every solar subclass are available to everyone. So if you want a Hunter Trip Mine on your Warlock or a Titan Thermite on your Hunter, you can totally do that. You just got to go out and get them, which you might as well the 1st time if you have the currency, just so you don't forget. And wait, is that a new one? Oh, that is a new one. Just a straight up healing grenade. A grenade that cures allies on impact and creates an orb of benevolent solar light. So you don't have to overcharge. That makes sense. You won't have a actual grenade, but you will have your healing grenade instead of having to charge up your grenade into a benevolent dawn. So if you want healing grenades, that makes it actually a little bit easier. That kind of does make sense in the long run. So you might as well just kind of meditate that out. Then going into aspects, I'm going class by class here. For Titans, for our aspects, we have Roaring Flames. Final blows with solar abilities or ignitions increases the damage of your solar abilities, stacks 3 times. Titans know this one very well, as this is what allowed us to one-shot punch many raid bosses. It's a 2 fragment perk, so it is pretty solid. Plus, it's Roaring Flames for any ability and super. That works super freaking nicely in my book. As well, Soul Invictus. Basically, solar ability final blows, hammer of soul impacts, and defeating scorched targets creates sunspots. Your abilities regenerate faster, and your super drains more slowly while standing in the sunspot. Sunspots apply scorch and deal damage to targets inside. Entering a sunspot yourself will start restoration, which is basically you regenerate health and shields over time, cannot be interrupted by taking damage. Basically the Lordly Splendor buff, so that part is irrelevant now. Another 2 fragment slot. It is looking good to combine all 3 subclasses at once. And lastly, a brand new one, Consecration. A 1 fragment, but it's a very interesting aspect, brand new. While sliding, activate your charged melee ability to launch a wave of solar energy forward, damaging and scorching targets in front of you as you leap into the air. Basically, Howl the Storm stasis uppercut, but solar. But as well, while airborne, activating your charged melee again to slam into the ground and create a second wave of damaging solar energy. This wave hits a scorched target, they explode. So, ooh boy, it sounds real spicy. real spicy. I think Titan might have won the thing yet. But actually, wait, I forgot. I can check as well. Ember of Empyrean, solar weapons or ability final blows extend the duration of restoration and radiant effects applied to you, less resilience, as well as Ember of Char, your solar ignition spread scorch to affected targets. So, lots of chaining, lots of fire. I'm really liking the sound of solar right now. But to quickly blink over to the other classes to see what they have in store for aspects as well. So, as long as it keeps me in the menu, because it automatically loaded me into the seasonal event, for Hunter aspects, we have Knock 'em Down. Your solar supers are enhanced. Golden Gun Deadshot has increased rotation. Golden Gun Marksman has increased damage distance, and Blade Barrage launches more projectiles. While Radiant, aka just buffed, final blows from your equipped throwing knife fully refund your melee energy. So they did address that. So the one-shot weighted knife, I don't think it is as powerful. Let's see. Nope. Okay. No, that still regenerates instantly on precision final blows. So, you know, that's still there. Oh, it also sets things on fire. Or causes scorched targets to ignite. Okay, so things on fire get, you know... Oh, and they just added a normal lightweight throwing knife. Oh, and it also gives you a buff from hitting things. That's solid. They added all 3 knives back into a thing. Now, as well, per the usual, Blade Barrage, Golden Gun Marksman, and Golden Gun Deadshot, aka 6-shot, is different. It still refunds your rounds. Let me into the thing. And per the usual jumps and everything. And let's see, is Blade Barrage anything different? Volley, Solar Charge, Explosive Knives. That sounds about the same. But it is also the shorter cooldown of all 3 of the Solar Supers on Hunter. Oh, and it also benefits from being Radiant if you're Golden Gun. So, you know. And the usual Orbs of Power on precision hits. It doesn't say anything about the cascading triple shot, though, where shot 1, 2, and 3 are more powerful if you hit precision. So that might have been a takeaway. But, continuing, on your mark, this is basically Chains of Woe. It's a 3 fragment perk, so a lot of people are probably going to run it. Precision final blows grant you and nearby allies increased weapon handling and reload speed for a short duration. Stacks 3 times. Activating your class ability immediately grants maximum stacks of on your mark. Which, let's see, it's still marksman. Oh, they added a new one. Acrobat dodge. Dodge to perform an acrobatic leap. Upon landing, make yourself and nearby allies radiant. So that's that radiant. That was that Well of Dawn or Well of Radiance slam that people were seeing. Well, that seems nice, but of course it is also the longest cooldown of the 2. So, you know, we're gonna have to see. And then the last one, Gunpowder Gamble. This is the interesting one. Book of Matches. Defeating targets with abilities, solar debuffs, or solar weapons. to charge up an improvised solar explosive. Basically, defeat enemies with solar debuffs and burn things alive to buff your grenade, where you throw a solar explosive that can be shot midair to cause ignition. Think Ash from Overwatch and her dynamite, how you can shoot it out of midair. It's going to be tricky and crucible to see how that turns out. It's definitely going to be a curious sight. Now to check with the Warlocks to see how they are burning and healing everything around them. For Dawnblade, no, okay, so there's actually 3 Rift abilities now. We have Healing Rift, Empowering Rift, and Phoenix Dive. Diving to the ground creates a burst of solar light that cures nearby allies, so you heal other people in addition. While Heat Rise is active, you gain Restoration while diving and scorch targets upon landing, so it's not restricted to just being buffed by active Dawnblade. And there's actually only 2 types now, Daybreak and Well of Radiance, so there's no specifically floaty one. But as well, we still have Celestial Fire, where it's 3 Solar Blasts, and the new one, Incinerator Snap, where your character snaps their fingers and creates a fan of burning embers that explode and scorch targets. It looks super powerful in the previews so far. And for aspects, we have Icarus Dash as an aspect, so people can't complain about losing that. 2 Fragment. Basically, you hold B, long press, dodge quickly while airborne. While Heat Rise is active, you have an additional dodge. But, you know, also fingers, or what's the word, keybinds. We have Touch of Flame. Your Healing Solar, Firebolt, and Fusion Grenades have enhanced functionality. The Healing Grenade improves the strength of cure and restoration effects applied, as well as Solar Grenades increase linger duration, periodically emits blobs of lava around its perimeter, a little bit of Cluster Bomb. Firebolt Grenade increase, you interrupted me again, game. Stop doing this to me. Increase the target search radius and maximum target count. For Firebolts and Fusion Grenades explode twice. So it's generally a buff to every original Warlock grenade, it seems. So, well, it could be better. It's only Warlock grenades that get buffed, so we have to see. But then Heat Rises. You can fire weapons, melee, and throw grenades while gliding. Left bumper press, hold to activate Heat Rises. Consuming a grenade, final blows while airborne increase the duration of Heat Rises and grant melee energy. So in terms of new abilities, there wasn't a lot. Touch of Flame is technically or just a rework instead of something entirely new. But like I said, it's kind of new that Phoenix Dive is the new class ability now. This is the first time Warlocks just had something other than Rift in their class ability. But aside from that, it seems like everything is per the usual with the other 2. Although I think Daybreak might apply. Nope, it doesn't seem to apply. What's it called? Scorch. But, you know, that's everything. Everything else still seems to be hitting it hard in terms of abilities. And maybe isn't so unique in comparison to Void 3.0. But, you know, that's just kind of what we're used to seeing. But with that, that is everything new Solar 3.0. My name is Matt Scorpion. I will see you in the next video.